Hi, this is Sean, and this channel is called Wolf Dog Moon. Today we're going to be doing another spoiler-free review of the Memphis Wrestling Championship Wrestling, brought to you by CarShield. It's from the United Wrestling Network, and this was on 11/13/2022. And similar to what we've done before in the past, what we're going to do is break down the different matches and wrestlers and stuff, and just give you an overview. And what we'd have you do is go follow the link down below, go watch the episode for yourself, and then you can come back to our channel and listen to this spoiler-free review and comment down below, and we can get a discussion going. Alright, let's get into this. So, if you've not seen the Memphis Wrestling on YouTube, I would highly encourage you to do that. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with something like this. It's completely free on YouTube, and it's old school wrestling. It feels very nostalgic the way they're doing the entire, right from the commentary to the wrestling to the production. Everything has this really cool old school feel. Like it's really refreshing. I feel like we're in this epic wrestling renaissance. Like, there's a lot of different kinds of wrestling that's popping up, and a lot of it's on YouTube for free. You have New Japan Pro Wrestling World. You have even have women's wrestling like WOW Wrestling and a few others. So this is a great time. I feel like the territory back in the day, originally with wrestling, before WWE swallowed up all these territories, there was a bunch of territories and different wrestling promotions, and one of those promotions was done by Jerry the King Lawler, and it was this Memphis Wrestling. So again, the link will be down below for the Memphis Wrestling YouTube channel, and you can go on there and you can check it out for yourself. Just follow our link. That'll take you to this most recent episode of Championship Wrestling, brought to you by CarShield. Now, right off the bat, they're doing some kind of, it's called the Path to the Red Carpet Rumble. So there's this event that they've been building towards, and so they're doing different matches to establish the rankings of the contenders and stuff, and who will be fighting who in this Rumble match that's going to be happening down the road. Now, the other thing that's it's really cool is that this Memphis Wrestling, they're in like some kind of cooperation with something like AEW and also New Japan Pro Wrestling. So you have New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers on this Championship Wrestling, which is really cool. So let's get into this. In the very first match, you have this awesome wrestler. His name is Danny Limelight. He's known as the Radioactive Poppy. And before the match, he cuts this awesome promo, and because essentially he's the #1 contender, and so this guy has tons of swagger. He comes off, he's very much like your quintessential New Yorker. He'll get in anybody's face, but he's also very brash, but he's got this cool, like a lot of charisma, and he has this cool vibe to him where, he can be your friend and stuff, and be on your side. So he's very much a face in that way. He's, he's got this awesome, he comes across as this cool guy that you'd want to hang out with. And so essentially, he cuts a promo because he's going to take on anyone from the locker room. And so he just issues this open challenge. And so the guy that ends up accepting the challenge is this guy, Shane Haste. And he's known as the Hysterical Shane Haste. And he's part of Team TMDK. Now, if you've seen some of our previous videos, we did a spoiler-free review of Capital Collision, which was done through New Japan Pro Wrestling. and it's on their YouTube channel. Definitely go check out that show. That's one of my favorites of the entire year so far. That pay-per-view was awesome, and now it's free on YouTube. So go check that out, because this guy Shane Haste and TMDK, they wrestle in that pay-per-view, and it's an awesome match. So go check that out for more context on this Shane Haste guy. Now, I remember Shane Haste. I'm pretty sure he was in NXT for a little while. So back when NXT was just getting going, he was in a tag team with another guy. I forget what his name is, but if you go back and go through our videos and watch Capital Collision, you'll see. I think his teammate is part of TMDK. So, anyways, the other thing you get with this Championship Wrestling, brought to you by CarShield, you get all the old school moves. You get that the moves aren't limited like you see on WWE TV, for example. If you're like us, if you're wrestling fans and you like when the wrestlers are called wrestlers and they're called pro wrestlers, and you like when it's treated as such, unlike what WWE does where they call them something else, then this Championship Wrestling is going to be for you. It's awesome in that way. It just harkens back to the original stuff, and ironically, they're doing kind of what New Japan Pro Wrestling is doing. New Japan Pro Wrestling, they call their wrestling strong style, but really it's just old school wrestling like you've seen back in the 70s and the 80s. That awesome wrestling where you have grapples, you have all the moves, centaurs, arm drags, you have snap suplexes, and you have where they're getting slow, methodical grapples going and stuff so they can wear down their opponent. The realistic and awesome storytelling that they used to do that has been lost on something, for example, like WWE television. Their stuff gives me a headache. I can't watch it. And so it's awesome that, okay, we're in this awesome wrestling renaissance where you can find stuff for free, and then there's Fight TV, which you can also watch the stuff on Fight TV. So now they're also doing insecurities. They're, like I said, they're doing grapples on body parts, on the extremities, and really working the legs and the arms, and so it's awesome in that way because you get back to the basics. And I mean, the whole production and how it's done, right from the announcing of the wrestlers, and then how many falls it's going to be, and then there are time limits, and so it feels very much like a competition that it's supposed to feel like. Hold on one second, please. So now that first match between Danny Limelight and Shane Haste, definitely a highlight of the show, one of the highlights anyway. So you should check that one out. There's a lot of high impact moves, a lot of hard hitting action, and just back and forth brawling and stuff. Those two wrestlers are definitely up and coming future stars and stuff. So definitely encourage you to check that match out. And then in the second match, we have a setup. It plays out basically the previous week. If you've watched the previous episode, they had set up a match between Unbreakable Savannah Stone and the Pink Dream, Alex DeGracia, versus Zeta Zhang and Milo. So they had set that up last week, and so this week they battle it out in a tag team women's match, which is awesome. It's like they're doing hard hitting moves, they're doing snap suplexes, they're doing slingshot suplexes. This whole event has all the moves. It has just all the old school moves that you expect from wrestling. It feels like wrestling again, and the commentary is excellent. I mean, they even get the commercials right. There's this awesome commercial they have with Ric Flair, And I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it yet. Go check it out. They even get the commercials right. They even have a commercial for the Marines where they're recruiting for the Marines, and that gives you chills. Like even right down to the commercials, they get those right too. So, and then after that match, they have another awesome promo segment with this guy. He's a real colorful character. He's wearing the do-rag. He's got like tie-dye, and he does an old school promo like you would have seen, Hulk Hogan or Ric Flair or Jake the Snake Roberts, the Macho Man Randy Savage do back in the day. This guy's promo is awesome, and he's called the Outlandish Ziggy Dice, and he just nailed the promo. I want to watch the match after he was done, so go check that one out. And then the third match is this guy, Jew Diz. He's known as the Black Rose, and he's this Jew Diz, which I'm thinking that's a play on words like Judas from the Bible. So Jew Diz, it's spelled differently. And he has like a Jamaican style to him, and real colorful looking, and just real muscular, tough looking guy. And he's going against this guy called The House, and he's from this faction called the Institution. And so the whole Institution faction comes out behind this guy called The House, and the leader, his name is Jack Banning. And these guys, they look like mental patients. They look like they escaped from Arkham Asylum or something. They're all wearing like white clothes, like, in the clinic. They have all the white clothes in the Institution, the actual, counselors or whatever they call them. But these guys somehow it looks like they got a hold of those outfits, and that when they escaped from the asylum. But they have this red handprint like on their shirts and stuff, and I mean, it looks like something like they formed this crazy cult kind of called the Institution. And so they come down to kind of stand. They're not allowed to get close to the ring, so they stand on like the apron area, or like where they're introduced. There's like a curtain and stuff, and so that's where they stand. And so this is another hard-hitting, awesome match, and it's back and forth and intense. So that's another cool match to go check out, and you get these real colorful characters and stuff. Now, in the main event, you get the United Wrestling World Champion. His name is Jordan Clearwater, and he's part of this awesome faction called the Embassy. And Jordan Clearwater, he's called the Golden Boy. Now this guy, he looks like a champion. He looks like $1 million. I mean, he even wears the old school robes that you'd see somebody like Ravishing Rick Rude wearing, or Ric Flair. Like, this guy looks like $1 million. He's 100% heel. He's 100% full of himself, and he's good though. He's really good. So he's just got a big giant ego and stuff, and so the crowd's booing him and all that kind of stuff. And he has this as part of the Embassy. His manager is this real colorful guy. His name's Prince Nana, and who I think I've seen him in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I've also seen him on AEW. So these guys definitely, if you check out Championship Wrestling, you're gonna see a lot of those awesome wrestlers from the other promotions. It's really cool in that way. And he cuts an awesome promo in the ring. This Jordan Clearwater guy, he's really good, and he's going to be going in this. It's a championship main event, and it's versus Carlito Colon. And so this guy, he was in WWE, and they build him as a former WWE Intercontinental Champion, a former US Champion, and a former Tag Team Champion in the WWE. and he was built from San Juan, Puerto Rico. And this guy, I guess he beat John Cena at some point. He beat John Cena to win the U.S. Championship, which I remember that happening. I didn't follow the WWE for a lot of the John Cena era, so. But I just know that John Cena didn't lose very many matches and stuff. So in this, you have some big time players in this main event, and they both look good. They both, were hard hitting. This Jordan Clearwater, he also is like a platinum blonde. He's good looking, and he just is completely full of himself. And but he's a good wrestler. And so you have some other promos, building out. Like you have a Danny Limelight promo. That's awesome to check out. These guys get the backstage promos done right, like the old school you would have seen back in the WWF days. So definitely encourage you to check this event out. Now, I'm going to get close to wrapping this up. I'm just going to give you my final thoughts. Now, something like this you can't go wrong with. I mean, especially if you're a wrestling fan and you like when the wrestlers are called pro wrestlers. I think you're really going to dig this, and you're going to have a good old time watching it. You're going to be laughing and you're going to be cheering and stuff. It's the way they're doing this is what I think is the way you should do pro wrestling. I mean, it's the action and everything, the commentary, it's squarely on the wrestlers, and they show the audience, and it's pretty cool the venue they're in. Some of the audience members are sitting at like tables, and they can eat food and stuff. And I don't want to spoil it too much, but the food, there is a part where the food comes into play, kind of thing. But it's a cool looking venue, but it's still the focus of everything's focused on the wrestlers. And so you get this old school feel, and it feels like wrestling again. It doesn't feel like they're trying to present some other way or subvert your expectations of what you're watching, or they're not trying to sell it as something that it's not. And I really appreciate that. This definitely would encourage you to check out this Championship Wrestling, brought to you by Car Shield. I mean, they even get the commercials right. So comment down below. Let us know what you think. And we can get a discussion going. Because to me, they're doing all the moves too. They're doing arm drag takedowns. They're doing sentons. They're doing snap suplexes. You have colorful characters. You have guys, you got and women, guys and girls, cutting these awesome promos and stuff, and doing backstage interviews, and everything, even the commentary and stuff, it feels like pro wrestling again, and it doesn't hurt your brain, and you can get behind something like this. Right now, it seems to be like a hidden gem. I mean, if you check the view counts and stuff, it doesn't have a ton of views, but this is excellent wrestling. And so the other thing is it's on Sundays at 1 o'clock. And so if you go on YouTube and you have a YouTube subscription or whatever, or you have a YouTube account, you can live chat in the comments. And I've done that, and it's really fun because there's other people that are just as excited about it and stuff. But yeah, they have a lot of awesome wrestlers, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this grows and stuff. So definitely encourage you to check that out, and we hope that this video finds you having an amazing day, and we hope that you have a blessed day and that your spirits remain high. Signing out.